It's time once again for your weekly update from the city of New Hope, and the mayor is with us, Kathi Hemken. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
I am just fine. You know, the trees outside are just absolutely beautiful right now. They're just covered in little white flakes.
Yes, that frost has come with the fog, and so it is beautiful. Get out and take some pictures if you would at this time. Might be good for the In Focus photo contest for years to come. Let's give you an update of some things happening in the city right now. We're going to start with engineering and talk a little bit about Green Infrastructure Grant. Give us a little background here. What is this and how does it help the city?
Well, you might hear about I&I, which means inflow and infiltration. And not too long ago, we've been lining our sewer pipes rather than replace them. What happens is the cities get charged for the amount of sewage that we dispose of. And when these pipes leak, water gets into that, which increases the cost that to the city because it's not bad water, it's just into that system. And so by lining those pipes, we keep that inflow and infiltration out of the sewer lines, and we get grants for that. So that's where we are. So now what's happening is they're going to measure that in the northwest part of the city to see if that inflow and infiltration has decreased, and if so, we'll get some grant relief on what we pay. So that's a lot more than you wanted to know about sewage, but there you go.
All right, more to come as that moves down the way. Let's talk about Meadow Lake. We've discussed this multiple times about the drawdown and some of the benefits of that, but there's also some other things that have been found. Tell us more.
Well, there have. We did the drawdown because there was a gazillion little fish, flathead minnows or something like that. Apparently, when you dump your minnow bucket into the lake, it's not very helpful because there's no predators and these little fish just multiply. And of course, they leave behind droppings. So doing that drawdown, we got rid of all the little fish. And the turtles, by the way, survived very nicely. They kind of dug underneath, and so they did just well.
Right.
But now we're finding the phosphorus levels were really high in the lakes. So the lakes didn't come up real high because of a dry summer. So therefore, the curly leaf pondweed was just terrible this year because of the low level of the lakes, because not a lot of rain, and also the cattails. So they're going to do some kind of treatment to this curly leaf pondweed that's growing. And they tell me that when the water levels come up in the lake, in the Middle Lake, the cattails will recede some. So there's hope for both, but you know, there's a long range Meadow Lake plan in place, and we can only take care of so much at a time. So that's what's going on. We won't do another drawdown, but we'll put something in the lake to try to get rid of that curly leaf, and also do an alum treatment to get rid of the phosphorus that's in there.
Let's move over to Highway 169, and a lot of activity happening now, but even more in the coming years. What can you tell us about the work that is going on now and is to come?
Oh gosh, 169 is going to be busy is what it's going to be. So let's talk about 36th Avenue first. There's a pedestrian bridge over 36th Avenue, and there's a highway bridge. So what they're going to do is the traffic bridge is going to come down because it's not high enough, but the pedestrian bridge is. So the pedestrian bridge will stay, but the traffic bridge will come down on over 169 and 36. Now, as you can imagine, we have to have a contract signed between the two cities, Plymouth and New Hope, and the county and the state. So all of this takes a whole lot of time. We're talking about it now because I think people just need to be aware that it's happening. Nothing's going to happen until probably late 2023 or 24. Now, moving just a little bit north, 42nd, that bridge is also coming down. And there is no pedestrian bridge over 42nd. So that bridge will come down. They'll put a new bridge and a pedestrian bridge over 42nd, the traffic lane. And that's going to happen. These will be probably a year apart when they happen. They tell me that 169 will not be shut down. What they'll do is have traffic one lane each way. But still, that's going to slow down traffic. So you might want to think about an alternate route if you're using 169, but that's going to be a ways. Now, they're also talking to MnDOT about bus transportation. And so that's going to either be detoured or there's going to be some interruption in the service. We don't know what that is, but all of this stuff is just like one big pile of stuff that needs to be done. So just to make it a little more exciting, they're taking down trees from Bass Lake Road to 62nd in preparation of a noise wall that's going up there. That will happen they're taking the trees down now and they're removing some of the brush, but the noise wall will go up in spring. So that part will be done, but it's just a continual mess on 169. So just be aware that it's going to be a mess there.
A lot to come. All right, there's your engineering update. Let's move over to community development. A couple items to update residents on. The first is 3611 Louisiana. We've been watching that property. What stage is it in right now?
Well, both 3611 and 4201 Boone, we're waiting to get the bids back, and that'll be reviewed by the EDA, which is basically the city council, the 27th of February. And then after those are reviewed and we pick a contractor, then you'll see some stuff happening on both of those.
Okay, very good. And the business networking group, recently a fun event held at Frankie's, and then more fun to come with other meetings. Tell us about those events.
Anytime you can be at Frankie's and eat their delicious food is a wonderful thing.
Right.
So it was very, very well attended, not only with the Crystal Business Networking Group, but ours. And they're combining the two, and we have invited Crystal to join the New Hope group. I think we'll change the name probably to include both cities, but the cities are so interconnected and the businesses are so interconnected that it's really important that we include them in our stuff. So the next meeting will be the February 1st meeting at 8:30, and that'll be at City Hall. And just one other thing I want to talk about a little bit is on 42nd Avenue, where the video store was between Dunkin' Donut and Marco's Pizza, there's a new business going in there called Leafline, I think it's called. It's a medical marijuana dispensary. Because that building is commercial, and because the state legislature changed the rules on marijuana, we do not have the ability to say no to them. So this will be a dispensary there. We don't know when it's going to open. I did talk to the police chief today, and it will be monitored, and they don't need a license for this from the city. They need it from the state, I believe, but it will be monitored. We'll be checking on it. They have rules they have to obey by. So it'll get a periodic check, just like liquor and tobacco does.
Let's move ahead to the police department and talk about some of the things that they're doing. Two updates for you right now, and one has to do with some partnering with the school district. Tell us about this exciting news.
Well, Robbinsdale Spanish Immersion School, they're doing a police student volunteerism. They want the kids to know that it's okay to talk to a police officer and that the police officers are their friends. So we'll be doing some going into the school, doing some stuff with the kids, making sure that they understand that the police officers are safe people and people they need to know.
And you also have an update about the Joint Community Police Partnership. What is happening there?
Well, we've hired somebody there to do that. So this is between the cities of Crystal and New Hope. Those cities are so interconnected, and we do so much stuff together that this joint partnership is really a good thing.
Moving ahead to Public Works, one of their focus lately has been on snow removal, and it's slowed down a little bit, but they're still out there working on some removal. And how can residents, again, help out with fire hydrants and some of the storm drains?
Well, they're done plowing for today. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but they're hauling away some of the snow that's around the fire hydrants or that's at intersections that's too high. So they're loading that into trucks, hauling that away. That's what they're doing now. But if you have a fire hydrant in front of your house, please go out and shovel it out. In the event of a fire, we don't want the firefighters to be shoveling that out and wasting the time that they could be spending putting out that fire. So that'd be a big help if you dig that out. If you can't, and you can't find a neighbor to help you, you can always call Public Works and they'll come and do it. But it would really be helpful if you did it.
One other quick note on snow removal. It may seem a little odd there, removing snow from the lighted field, but this is for a good purpose of another project.
It is. We talked about the lighting project that's going on at Lighted Field. And so to get at that pole, they're putting up a new pole because the there's a bird that's nesting in the old pole, and they don't want to bother the bird, so they're putting up a new pole.
Okay.
Well, they have to remove the snow so they can get to the ground to put up that pole. So they're also removing that snow from that area.
All right, getting ready for Park and Rec now. A lot happening in this area, and you might find some of the activities listed on the city's website. Again, newhopemn.gov. Let's begin with the outdoor rinks. How is the ice doing? Can we get out and do some skating now?
Well, the ice is getting better.
Yeah.
They've got the snow off. It's getting a little colder. They're trying to put water down as much as they can and get it frozen. Typically, those ice rinks close in mid-February, so we've got to get busy. So the rinks are open. There's 3 of them, Hidden Valley, Liberty, and Lions Park. They all 3 have hockey rinks, but only Hidden Valley has just the hockey rinks. The other 2 have general skating, and of course, they don't want hockey players on the general skating rinks. So they're open. If you look in your in motion, it'll tell you the hours that the warming houses are open. And it's usually Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, and the hours are in that in motion. So you know when those warming houses are open. And of course, sometimes they won't be when it's listed because we can't get staff to staff them.
Got it. And here is that in motion as well. So check this out. A lot of valuable Park and Rec information in there. One other event we teased a little bit last time was Black Light Dodgeball. It's coming up quickly. Mayor, this sounds like fun.
Oh, it does. It does. So it's for those younger kids, like 7 to 10 or 7 to 12, maybe. What they're looking for now, you have until the 10th of February to register. The event is actually happening on the 24th, but they're looking for parents to be volunteers. And if you volunteer, your child's fee will be refunded to you. So we're looking for parents that are willing to be there and help with this. This is just a 1-day event, and kids can play for free if you volunteer.
Yeah, sounds like a fun opportunity. Other things in Park and Rec, we have a new staff person to welcome in. We've talked about the position quite a bit. It has to do with the golf course.
Well, his name is Ricky, and Ricky has actually started today. And he actually started on Friday the 20th, but he's actually at the golf course today, just looking over the equipment, getting ready. And Mark, of course, is just kind of phasing out of that a little bit. Mark will still be supervising the golf course and the ice arena, but he'll be more in the supervisory position that he should be in, that has been, and there'll be some help at the golf course for him. So we're really looking forward to having Ricky there.
If you're looking for some activities to do in the near future here, we've got a couple to mention from Park and Rec. The first is winter activities. You've got some great kits that can help people get out and enjoy the winter weather. How do we get involved in those?
Well, you call Park and Rec, and you can just go and get, there's snowshoes in these kits and sleds and various other things that the kids can use to play outside. A lot of times you don't have the space, especially if you're in an apartment, to store that stuff. So you can just rent it for a week or 2 and return it when you're done with it. So they're very nice to have. And then there's also the winter golf that's on the 4th of February. That's a fun event. 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I believe it's $15. They've got 6 holes that they've plowed out. You bring a golf club, or you can get one from the course, and you hit a tennis ball into a big round circle that they've painted in the snow. And there's a lot of laughing and giggling going on because there's no skill involved in this at all. And then there'll be a fire on the patio with s'mores and hot chocolate inside. So just a fun event. You need to register if you're going to come. And if you forgot to register, just show up. That's okay too.
All right. And another event coming up has to do with Valentine's Day. And this is a neat craft project. What does this involve?
So they're making heart-shaped clay tinker boxes. I have no idea what that is, but if you look in your in motion, there's a picture of it. And apparently you get all the stuff you need to make this tinker box, and you shape it by hand. And there's also paints and things that you put on it. So you can buy this tinker box. I think you have until the end of January to register to get one. And then just bring it home and make a tinker box with it.
Sounds fun. All right, let's talk about a couple things that will get you thinking a little warmer within Park and Rec. And the first is softball. It is softball sign-up time, Mayor?
It is. That'll start the 1st of February. So both the men's and the women's softball teams will start signing up then. What they do is they take the old teams give them priority. And then if there's some new teams that have started, so I know that this last year they opened it up to women's softball, and they were just flooded with teams. So if you've got a team and you played last year, get yourself signed up as soon as possible. If not, you'll be able to sign up sometime after the 1st of February.
And as the city's thinking about these summer activities, they're also thinking about staff to go along with those activities. So now is the time for people to show their interest if they might want a job at the city. Tell us more.
Well, the first thing they do is they contact all of the previous seasonal workers. And, that's the umpires, that's the ones that attend the gym, the pool, or we have a lot of seasonal people. So they'll contact them first, get as many of those back as we can get, and then they open it up to the public. So what you can do then is go online and fill out an application. You can probably do that now. Fill out an application. They're mostly part-time jobs. It pays pretty well. In most cases, you're outside during the summer. It's a great job for kids that are going to college or high school. It's good for people that don't have full-time jobs. It's just and it's good to work for the city. It's always kind of fun.
And the website is newhopemn.gov if you want to find out that application information. Back to the golf course just for a second. You might wonder, what do they do during the winter months? Well, they're busy both inside and also outside at this time with some ash trees.
Well, of course, we had that emerald ash borer problem, and a lot of our trees in the course are ash trees. Some were already dead, some were so close to dead they might as well be. So we've hired a company, and they've taken down 23 trees already, but there's a whole lot more to take down. The smaller ones, Public Works are taking down, but the bigger ones, we need professionals doing that. So they take down the tree and haul away the stuff. It takes quite a few hours to take down one tree. And of course, they're not right on the street. They're all in the course. So they want to get back there so they're not going to be ruining the grass while the ground is frozen. So they're trying to get as many down as they can this winter and get that all hauled out of there. I don't know if they're grinding up the stumps this year. I'm guessing they're going to have to wait till fall to do that. But they keep removing them. There's a lot of trees to be removed. And we did get a grant to remove some of those. So that's helpful.
And the other part of the golf course during the winter months is obviously rental of the clubhouse. So you can, again, check that out if you've got some events coming up that you might want to be inside at that great facility. How about over at the ice arena? That is busy from wall to wall inside that building right now.
It is. All kinds of stuff is going on. So, of course, the high schools are playing. They're doing double headers on Thursday, both the boys and the girls. And then you can look in your InMotion or go online and see who's playing who. Also, the youth hockey has got their practice and their games going. The adults leagues are playing on Saturdays and Sundays. And there's something called the knockdown in New Hope. And that was the 10 to 12-year-olds. And it's just a tournament that was going on for that age group. I thought it was kind of a clever name for it. So if you don't want to do that and you just want to skate, open skating is on Fridays and Sundays, and that's always available when there isn't a game on Fridays and Sundays. And the other thing you can do, if you like to walk in the winter and you don't want to walk outside, you can go to the golf or to the ice arena, and there's a walking path from 8 to 3 inside. So you can just walk around that walking path inside the ice arena. It's a little chillier than being at a gym, so you feel like you're outside. You probably have to wear a sweatshirt, but you still get to walk and there's no ice.
Great exercise there. One final note from Park and Rec, Snowman and Snow Sculpture Contest. Again, the snow is out there, so you're encouraging people to get building.
I am. This snow that's there now is not really good for snowmen, but it's great for snow structures. So you just pack it all down and you carve out a snow structure of some sort. And so that's going on. But if it ever snows again, make a snowman, name your snow structure, send in the picture with your name and address, and you'll be entered in the contest. Just another warning to kids. Do not let your kids play on the snowbanks by the streets. It's very tempting. They want to go up there and slide down those banks, but they never know where they're going to end up, and they don't know what's underneath those snow piles. So do not be playing in those banks. Do not make tunnels in those banks, because that snow is not real stable. That's not a playground, by the way. It's just we don't want anyone to get hurt there.
Good advice. A couple items from the city to update you on from Human Resources. The first is an evidence technician position. What is this and what's the process right now?
So when there's a crime or anything where they have evidence, that evidence has to go into a special room. And they really need to keep track of where it is and what it is. But we haven't had an evidence technician before. We've always used just the cops to kind of keep track of it. Well, it hasn't been quite as good as it should be. And it's a lot of extra work for the police officers. So we've hired this evidence technician, and she will keep track of the evidence. It'll be all categorized. It'll be on the computer. So when we need it, we know exactly where it is and what's in there.
Another update is on the city manager search. We talked a little bit about it last time. What is the update there? How is that process moving along?
Well, currently our police chief has been functioning as the temporary city manager. And he has let us know that he wants to go back to just being the police chief. It's very difficult to do both those jobs. So we are going outside with a company called DDA. And what the council will be doing now is meeting with somebody from DDA to talk about what we want in a city manager. And then they will go out and advertise for a city manager. And then we'll start that interviewing process. So this is a long-term process. We probably won't have a new city manager till June, but we're just starting the process now.
Two final notes to pass along on the update this week. The next is about trash haulers. You just wanted to pass along a little information about trash hauling in the city and just the process if residents have comments or concerns.
So they did a survey last year, asking people if they wanted organized trash collection or they wanted to keep what we had. The majority of the people wanted to keep what they had. And so we put in some policies that if a trash collector leaves the city, they're not being replaced. So we're down to, I believe, 4 trash haulers. The city does not have any control over the trash haulers as far as their cost or as far as their picking up. So they know they can pick up on Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays, whatever it is. But if you have a problem with the price of your trash haulers charging, you need to call the trash hauler. Or if your garbage doesn't get picked up, you also need to call the trash hauler. These people do not work for the city. Some cities have the trash haulers working for the cities. New Hope does not. So they're all independent haulers, and you need to be contacting them. If you're not happy with the amount of trucks that are going through your neighborhood, you can organize your own neighborhood and get them all on the same page with the same trash hauler. Then you'd only have one. Well, 2, one for the recycling, one for your trash. But we've suggested that to people, and that doesn't seem to go over real big. People seem to like their trash haulers and they want to keep them, and they change quite frequently. But just letting people know that the city does not control the trash haulers.
Good information there. And you mentioned In Motion a few times. And again, this is that winter copy, but I understand soon I'll be able to replace this with a spring summer copy. So are they thinking ahead that far?
Can you believe it? It'll be
Good.
spring before we know it. So they are working now on the spring summer. They have to get all of the events in order, make sure that the people are going to present, making sure all the coaches are in order. So it's a long process to do that. But just the fact that they're working on it, thinking about it, means that spring is just around the corner.
That sounds good. And we can get rid of snow piles like the one behind you there, which is actually a big mountain, but hey, it looks like a snow pile in the city. All right, Mayor. Well, thanks so much again for the update here. Stick with us in just a minute. We're going to show you some events coming up in the city that you might want to get involved in. And as always, here's the city's website, newhopemn.gov. If you have questions or need more information, go there and they can help you out. Mayor Hemken, thanks for your time. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Dave. Bye-bye.
Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.